Good evening, everybody. I'm Archanna Das, Head ASCENT Foundation, and I would like to thank each one of you for joining us for the fourth and the last session of Ask the Expert ASCENT webinar series number 3. All the topics of this series have been extremely diverse and handpicked by our own members to learn more. We started off by talking about the mental well-being of entrepreneurs and how important it is to have very meaningful conversations around this, especially times like this, which has been very difficult for a lot of us. Then we also spoke about evaluation and mitigation of risks from businesses to focusing on various dilemmas and complexities and also opportunities involved in family-run businesses. So these are some of the topics that we've covered through this series in the month of July. Today's topic is yet another interesting one that is around developing a sharp focus and discipline for 10x growth. Again, a very interesting topic, and I'm very excited to have Dheeraj Gupta, an Indian business owner and fitness enthusiast, who's the founder and CEO of King Foods, which is known as to be India's largest homegrown brand of vegetarian burgers in the quick service restaurant industry. Dheeraj has played a key role in the large-scale acceptance of franchising as a framework for doing business. He believes that such a model potentially creates a very inclusive and resilient growth engine. If coupled with a cohesive focus and entrepreneurial discipline, which has made him a young business icon of the 21st century India. With this, I would request Dheeraj to take over the session for us today.
Great. Thank you, Archana. Thank you for the introduction. And hi, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here and share my experience. I think this is my way of giving back to the society. And I often tell people that I benefited from learning other people's mistakes when I was much younger. And, this is the best way to, kind of learn from other people's experiences and just save yourself a lot of time and money as you guys scale up your businesses. So, I understand that all of you all are business owners, and for us as businesses, it is always so it's like if I share my story, I come from a family where we have a family business, and I did not join what my father was doing, and I decided to step out on my own. And he was kind enough to let me do that, because most of Marwari family, the fathers tend to cling on to their children and say, you have to take care of the business that I have created. But he said that go ahead and follow your dreams. So, and I think what was very important, I must share this thing about when we were in college. So our dean, he used to talk a lot about reading books and learning from people. And we thought that, how can books teach us anything? At that time, this I'm talking of almost 22 years ago. And so our library lectures were all wasted. We did not spend too much time, benefiting from reading of books. However, once I passed out of college, I was bitten by this bug of reading entrepreneurial books, people who built businesses. And what I really wanted to know was, what did Ray Kroc? Ray Kroc is the guy who built McDonald's. What did he do when he put up his first store, right? What were the challenges that he faced when no one was believing what he was doing? And, he had his dream, and, he was following it. Today, of course, everybody talks about McDonald's and they get all everything that they want to, but what was it like when he had started? So, and then, one book led to the other. I also read this book of Howard Schultz. He's the guy who built Starbucks, the coffee chain, and how that story started. Of Walmart, that is Sam Walton, how he built Walmart. There's this other. So then Fred DeLuca, the guy who built Subway, the sandwich, the largest chain of franchise stores in the entire world. And what was very interesting was all of these people had very similar journeys when they started. And I think I was very lucky to have got to learn from these people, because in India, so I come from a family, we were in the food business. And I was wondering that why is it that large brands are all seeming to come from the US? What is it that they do differently? What is it and why can't it happen in India. So, I would talk around with my uncles who are probably in the food business and other people that I could catch hold of. And, so they would say that, nahi, wo sab they can do because वो Americans हैं and उन लोग सब एक ही चीज खाते हैं. However, once you come to India and you go to a restaurant, the father wants something else, the mother wants something else, the child wants something else. So we have to cater to everyone. So we need to have something. And I was like, well, no, this is not going to work if we want to build a large business. I'm talking of even when we started at that time, we said, no, what if we are to create $1 billion business, right? What is going to be required to do that? And if we can get the foundation correct from day one as you start the journey. So, and then, I do recommend it really highly. There's this book called Focus by Mr. Al Rice and Jack Trout. It's a must read for all entrepreneurs who are looking at building brands, of how focus and discipline. So this is the mantra for me, and that's what I'm going to be talking about today. That this is what differentiates how large your company is going to grow and how large it is going to become. And so when I saw what Subway is doing, what McDonald's is doing, what Domino's is doing, what Starbucks is doing, all of them are very, very sharply focused on a particular consumer need, which they are solving. And we in India need to solve this. And this was also the time when all of these brands were coming into India, right? And they had spent about 4 or 5 years in India. And I was like, wow, all these guys. So Subway comes in and they are selling a cold sandwich in a country like India. Humko sab cheez garam achhi lagti hai. We need everything hot, right? And they're selling a cold sandwich and at such a high price. And there are so many people who are lining up suddenly because they're saying, okay, I'm health conscious and I want a healthy sandwich, because that is what their positioning was. Similarly, pizza, when Domino's came in, we were like, boss, at our times, pizza used to be Shivsagar ka pizza. I don't know how many of you are from Mumbai, and you all remember that that was the pizza that we knew. However, Domino's comes in and sells this very high-priced pizza, which comes delivered to us at home. And if they had done a survey, probably the home delivery market for pizza was non-existent, right? However, they come with a very strong proven business model, and consumers behave exactly in the same way in the US. They behaved exactly the same way in China. They behave the same way in Europe, in Australia. And when they come to India, the same behavior is getting repeated with respect to a pizza, with respect to a sandwich, with respect to a coffee store. And so that's when I like, was there's something over here that we need to really get into. And that's how Jumbo King started. And I had done some survey at that time, and I'm not a big vada pav eater. So Jumbo King started as a vada pav brand. Now we have kind of pivoted to calling it the Indian burger. I'll come to the reason why we did that. And so we realized at that time that Mumbai city, so I'm a student in finance. So, we run everything by numbers. We need a project report. That's how we were trained in college. That's how we were trained to think. And so I went to a lot of bakeries, figured out how many breads they are making, because it's a very unorganized market. I said, how do I get the market size? And at that time, in 2001, Mumbai used to consume about 20 million vada pavs a day, right? So that's 2 crore units of vada pav selling in Mumbai city. I'm not talking of sales. I'm talking of units which were being sold every day. And I'm like, wow, this is a great market to be in. And if even 10% of the people care for hygiene, right? If we can get even half of them to buy from us, we are talking of a reasonably large market to begin with, and then we keep on growing it. And that's how day one, Jumbo King started off with just one product. And my dad was from the food business. He said, boss, I've been doing this business for the last 40 years. And in my restaurant, I have about 100 products. So what are you trying to do? So I said, Dad, that was the deal. I will do what, what will happen? I might fail, but let us see what happens. And slowly, I think people loved the focus that we had on one product. And so today, that's a little bit of the backstory. Now, as businesses, we always, I'm sure that most of you all will love the big picture. Give us, what is it? What am I driving towards? That is what gets really exciting and makes the journey worth it. So I came across this data, which a study had been done, which I'm going to be presenting over here. that, the various stages in a company's growth journey. So the first stage is what is known as formulation. So we were in our formulation stage probably about 20 years ago. And this is a study which was done in the US, where you can see the numbers that they had said that there are about 28 million firms in the US, of which 96% are lesser than 10 crores in turnover. And only 4% have a turnover of 10 crores and above. And there is this thing known as, the valley of death, which means that people, they reach about, they're not able to reach the 10 crore turnover, and they kind of either remain over there and continue being there for a long time, or they die out and, are forgotten about. So this is the time where all of the business activity which is happening is because there is a single entrepreneur who has that dream, and he's driving the business literally with bull force. I remember I used to be head of marketing, supply chain, product development, customer experience, real estate, franchising, all of these things when we were probably in this mark of, getting to the 10 crore mark. And our focus was on product, on service. I would be there at every day. I remember there was a time when I could visit all the stores every single day, see what was happening over there, ensure customer service, ensure product was going out correctly, and take it forward. And so this was stage one, where the first store, second store, third store comes up, and it is doing fine. And even at that time, we thought, okay, Bombay is a market of 100 stores, so we need to scale up. That is where you come to stage two, which is the stage of concentration. So according to the study which was done, it said that of the 4% companies which increase or which cross the 10 crore turnover, only 0.4% of them are actually able to reach the 100 crore mark. Okay, and a lot of them fall into this valley of death and are not able to get there. They start off with a lot of promise. However, the 100 crore mark is not reached by them. So this is the stage where every 10 units of energy that you put into the business, you are just getting 1 unit of output, and it is extremely frustrating. Right? From the 1 to 10, 1 crore to 10 crore, you moved literally very fast. You just zoomed through. Product was new, market was new, and you got that beginner's luck, you may call it, or initial success. But going from the 10 to 100, you require to you need to put in the systems in place. And as an entrepreneur, system creation always becomes a challenge, because you typically are running as a one-man army with a team of juniors, and the resources in the company are such that you cannot really hire the very talented people, because they are going to charge a lot of money. They want to work with the larger firms, and they don't want to come and work in a startup kind of an environment. And the second thing is the focus on the team building. So as an entrepreneur, even I was stretched between what do I do? There's a lot of firefighting which is happening every day. At the same time, I know I need to be working on systems. I need to be working on creating the team. And there was a time where I remember we had hired a CEO, I had a GM systems, GM supply chain, GM operations. And I felt that, my God, these guys are all coming in with good experience. They were a team, a lot of them came from the CCD team, the Cafe Coffee Day team. Like, boss, इनको तो कुछ आता ही नहीं है, सब सिखाना पड़ रहा है. I'm having to do everything, because they were not being able to transition from a coffee chain environment and what is required there into what our product, what our product range would have needed. And this is really where I think I got very lucky, because of what the backstory of the college dean and the reading part. So I kept on figuring or preparing myself as an entrepreneur to be able to lead 100 crore organization. What we as entrepreneurs feel is, I know everything because I have built it, right? So I'm going to take it till 100. I'm going to take it till 1,000. I can take it till 10,000. I don't need to do anything. It is others who need to improve and learn. While the moment you realize that you need to prepare yourself, I realized I had to prepare myself to get there. And that's when I got myself a business coach. After a lot of struggle, a lot of heart pain, because I did not know where I was going wrong. And so my business coach, her name is Meenu Mariel. She's an international, she has helped a lot of startups, a lot of businesses scale up very rapidly. And so that is, it's like saying, you'll see like a Roger Federer, who may be the #1 tennis player in the world, or a Novak Djokovic, who's the #1. They still have a coach who's guiding them, right? You will have all of these sports people, but we as business owners in India, we don't have this culture of coaching, right? Because we feel कि हमको कौन सिखाएगा? We are the masters of our game. And believe me, it was a game changer. My coach, she did not know my business, but she knew what it takes to create a large business. And she was able to see that entire wanting to control everything, getting in a senior resource, however, still wanting to step all over his or her feet when it comes to decision making. Yes, and you should do it like this. And obviously, I always benefited because I had 10 years of experience, 15 years of experience of doing that. They were coming in new, so they would take a little bit more time to, get a hang of what is to be done. And so once the business coach came in, and I was like, so it was like, so what do you want? I said, no, once I get to 100 crores, it will be very easy. Then I can get in the best people. I can do marketing. I can, get the best deals from my suppliers. I just need to get to 100 crores. And till that, I have to use bull force. And that's when, she said that, no, we are going to focus on system creation. We are going to focus on team building. And it is then that we are going to get to 100 crores. And I think it worked like magic for us, because I think there were 2-3 consecutive years where we had 80%, 90% year-on-year back-to-back growth. And believe me, I did nothing different in those 2 years than what I had done in the 5 years before. It was a mindset change of what is mine to do as the entrepreneur of the company. And which came boiled down to pretty much these two things: always working on the system. The business has to work without me. And so the system is going to work, and I'm constantly working on improving the system so that we can prepare for the next level of growth. So this gets interesting. From here, I'm going to get into stage 3, which is the stage of momentum. So this study said that once you have kind of reached the 100 crore stage, then, every 1 unit of energy starts giving you 10 units of output. And businesses, they just take off, and, you suddenly see, oh, wow, this company grew so fast, and they were nothing 10 years ago, and now they are doing a 1,000 crore turnover. What most of the people don't understand or read about is the 10 years, 15 years, 20 years of struggle that went into getting to that 100 crore mark. And, post that, it is all just much, much, much faster. However, here, if you'll see that still there is this valley of death. A lot of people falter after the 100 crore mark. They are not able to get to this 1,000 crores. And, so I was wanting to study that what happens over here. Why would this happen? What are the pitfalls that we need to avoid? So here was the focus on core strategy. So it's like, once, when we kind of got there, we are like, boss, we are too good. We are, a gift to mankind, because, we've created this very successful brand, and, we are marketing geniuses. Our product stays so good. And that is where the unfocusing starts off. So even today, every month, I get at least one offer from someone who says, sir, would you invest in our company? Or can we, tie up with you? Because, we also want to grow very fast. And so more, there is cash generation, which is happening. Because we are in the franchising business, actually, it's a beautiful business model to use, where the money generated for growth or required for growth comes through the franchise capital. So we as a company have a lot of, free cash flows which are always available. So keeping strongly focused on your core. It's like I feel that today, to get to 1,000 crores in 5 years, right, we would have to grow at 60% year on year for the next 5 years. Now that will require a tremendous amount of me remaining focused, keeping my team completely focused on what we are doing. And I don't want to take names, but in the food space, there have been multiple entrepreneurs who decided, oh, I'm doing very well with this one brand. There is an opportunity in food because there is a biryani chain which can get created. There's a South Indian food that can get created. There is, uh, a North Indian food which is waiting to get branded, which can get created. So let me do all of that because I know each of those are billion-dollar opportunities. And because we have got success in one, let us try and do all. And they end up actually doing well in none. And so, I was drawing examples of, of how McDonald's, they remain super focused on the burger, fries, and Coke for the longest amount of time. And so I as a business as an entrepreneur, I said, boss, no. So what excites me? It is creation of a billion-dollar organization that which excites me. And if the one Jumbo King can get me there, then why should I get unfocused and try to do three different things? The fastest route to getting to that mark is going to be that I remain focused on on what I'm doing. And so that is what really I wanted to share. That I'm sure a lot of you guys over here are either somewhere between the 100 to the 10 to 100 crore mark or 100 to 1,000 crore mark. We just continue doing what you are, and you have to aim for market leadership, right? Because as India is absolutely the land of opportunities, there is way too much money which is going to get made in this country over the next 10 years. However, in every segment, there will be two players. There'll be the number one, number two, max a number three player. And you have to see in your category. So for us, like we are now in the burger category, we realize that in the country, all over the country, people don't care too much about vada pav. Mumbai is a different market, but our ambition was to go national. So we had to kind of said, okay, we are going to go out as Indian burger, and the vada pav will be called the Mumbai burger. It will, take a little bit of time for the Mumbai guys to digest this fact. However, in the longer scheme of things, it would be the right thing to do. And now in the market leadership, you can see there's a McDonald's, there's a Burger King. So their first and two are already very strongly established. So going over there for the number three position, and then kind of figuring out, okay, boss, how do we get to the number two position? So thinking of that constantly, and it will happen. I'll tell you how these things go. So let us take pizza for example, right? There is Pizza Hut, which does the dine-in thing of pizza. You go, it gives you, sells you the experience of sitting down. A guy will come to your table, take the order, and you order a pizza. And then you have Domino's, which sells the same pizza at the same prices with similar toppings, right? And they do home delivery, right? And so Pizza Hut has also tried to do the PhD, Pizza Hut delivery. And I think that they have not been too successful, because I'm sure all of us, if we were to order at home, we would obviously choose Domino's. At the same time, I remember my 10-year-old son, we were at a mall and he would have a Domino's probably once a month. But when we went to a mall and there was a Domino's there and a Pizza Hut there, he said, let's go to Pizza Hut today. So as a student of marketing, I said, why Pizza Hut? You always like Domino's. And he says, Dad, we are in a mall. We are going to sit down and eat. Why would we, go and eat at a Domino's? So a 10-year-old's mind is making a decision on pizza khana hai. In a mall, I will go to a Pizza Hut, but at home, I will call for Domino's. So I think similarly in the burger market, we are very, very focused on the takeaway segment. So we are not doing the 2,000 square feet stores like a McDonald's or a Burger King. We are doing the 200, 300 square feet takeaway stores. And I think it is a very, very large market. That is the segment which India really needs. A lot of 200, 300 square feet stores. And I hope that we'll all be pleasantly surprised that this will actually become the larger segment in the burger category. So I think I have stuck to the time that Archana, you had allotted me, and
so thank you so much for that context setting and deciding on what we are going to discuss now. There are a lot of questions which have already started flowing in. I will encourage at this point to please start posting in the Q&A part. I think somebody wanted to know the coach, your coach's name. So if you can share that again.
I will share it with you. I'll share the number and the email ID.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can probably just share it with the person who needs it.
Sure. There's a question from Rinki which says, how do you ensure that the same policies, same quality, same hygiene is maintained? Maintained across each and every Jumbo King store, especially when many Jumbo King units are not fancy restaurants, but small kiosks at public places.
Yeah. So see, actually, it's very easily done. In the food business, you need to build up a scalable food business, you need three things in place. One is you need to have a very sharply defined customer offering, the customer proposition. Second part is you need to have a centralized kitchen where everything is getting made. It has to be a central facility. All manufacturing one place, that's how you control the taste and the quality part. And the third thing is you need to have a very robust supply chain in place, which supplies the food from the central kitchen to all of the stores. So we took the longest time to tie up with the likes of Vista. Vista makes they're the largest patty manufacturers in Southeast Asia. They make patties for McDonald's and Burger King. All our sauces come from Cremica. They are the largest sauce manufacturer in this part of the world. So all our breads, we are slowly now tying up with Big Best, who's the bread manufacturer for all of these QSRs. So on the back end, the supply chain is pretty much the same for all QSRs. The only thing that is required is when we go to Cremica, their MOQ is minimum order quantity for any sauce is about 2 tons a month. So consuming 2 tons of sauce KDA, you require a certain scale. You cannot go to them and ask for 200 kg sauce. They'll not make it for you. So the first challenge is I have to get to 2 tons a month of volume. And then once you're there, then it becomes very easy to control the quality. And of course, at the store level, it's easier said than done, but the kind of training program that gets created. Today, technology is a great friend of ours. All the training videos, they are on videos which are available at the stores at the click of a button on the Jumbo King app. So the training of the staff can happen. Today, audits happen with a time and a date stamp of whether the guy was wearing a glove or not. And the training video can immediately be shown of what was the right way to do it. So having a very strong, audit mechanism in place, and it becomes easy. And today, because we run franchise stores, so we have the ultimate whip in our hand, which means if the person is not doing what he's supposed to, we can always tell them that I'm going to shut you down. So you better fall in line, otherwise you will not get to do business. And since it is controlled, the supplies are centrally controlled. You'll see that out of 100 people that you work with, there will be 2 who will have to be shown the door. Right? And give them an exit, get in a new franchisee. And I personally feel franchising is a much, much better way to grow your business. However, not all businesses are franchisable. So there is an entire study you have to do of what business can be franchised and what cannot. I hope I've answered that question.
Sorry, Dheeraj, since you're on the franchising topic, do you want to take a couple of minutes to describe your journey on the franchising side of business?
Yeah, so we started franchising because I read the book, Ray Kroc, Behind the Arches. He was franchising. Right. Subway was franchising. Starbucks was not. But I somehow liked the franchising business. And we started early. In the early stage, it was just because we said that they must have figured out something. We'll also figure out why franchise. And franchising was very tough because my first franchisee, he was 1.5 times my age. I was 27, he was 43. So, I was like a kid telling him, sir, aisa karna hai, sir, aisa karna hai. However, there was a lot of, heartburn initially because franchisees would not listen. They would have a mind of their own. Then I think about 7 years in the business, we decided that franchisees ask too many questions. They are a pain, and we should open company-owned stores because suddenly VC money and PE money became available. कि खुद का stores डालो, and that would be the way to grow.
Right.
And I think after putting up at one stage, half of our stores were company-owned. We realized that the company-owned stores were a much bigger pain than the franchisees.
Okay.
Because suddenly at about 25 stores, I had 150 people on my rolls, plus an HO team of 25 people. While when we were, today, when we are running our 115 stores, my HO team is only 15 people. Right? So it was just very, very manpower heavy. And I said, at a 1,000 stores, I don't want to be running a ship which is carrying 6,000 people on our rolls and then have a HO team of 500 people. Franchising is just way more efficient. However, the things to be kept in mind, 3 points, if I were to say, is one, don't franchise because you want to grow on someone else's money. You're going to give away a large part of your profits to your franchisee. You should franchise because you believe that the entrepreneur who's going to come in is going to add value to the business, and he will run the business way better than a manager would. And we don't have to, we have to understand this thing very, very well. So you select franchisees who are going to be full-time operators. Investor kind of people who say that I'm going to put up a store and put a manager over there, you will fail. You'll have a lot of problems because what you are trying to do was not have your own store manager. Franchisee is done the same thing, so the problem continues to be of the entrepreneur not being at the store. Second is, we tell our franchisee that no loans on the first store. You have to have the capital available. And the third thing we tell them is that. A lot of these IT industry people, they have the money to invest. They say, okay, 25, 30 lakhs in a store, big deal, dal dete hain paisa, side income ho jayega. My wife will attend the store. She'll go there for 2 hours. And, I don't mind losing that money. Don't give out your franchisee to these people because they will lose money. They will be upset with you and you will end up spoiling your brand's name. So work very hard on the franchisee success. So we tell our franchisees that boss, come in. First store is where you are testing the company is testing you, but you should come in if you want to grow up your business to 5 stores. And at 5 stores, the franchisee himself should be earning about 1 crore a year. That is the way that we build this business
out. We have lots of questions, so we'll go through them. So question from Himanshu. The new startups are reaching 100 crores in 3 years. They have been given mandate by the VCs to expand the product portfolio every month, get into new products and categories and all of that. Do you think rules of the games have changed in times of internet?
They definitely have changed. If you are building an internet business, the dynamics are extremely different. I think so sometimes it happens to me. I'm like, oh my God, Zomato, they were not even around when we started. And how come they get a 60,000 crore valuation on a 3,000 crore loss? How does it make sense? While if we go to a private equity guy or a VC guy, he says that, sir, आपने तो इतना पैसा बनाया है, तो इसका multiple मिलेगा आपको, या top line का we'll give you 3 times, 4 times. While these people there is no profitability inside, but they get valued so differently. However, see, it's like saying, if I like playing football, I should play football because cricket is more rewarding. If I try to become a cricketer, I might actually end up not getting anywhere. So you have to choose what you want to do and then not worry about that cricketers are getting paid more than footballers because that's what you choose to do. So as I say, my dream as an entrepreneur is to build $1 billion organization, right? I would feel that I have lived a good life. I created something. If that can happen through Jumbo King, I would go ahead and do it. I would not attempt putting up a .com business or a internet business because I don't understand that. Right. I might actually be very bad at doing it.
Right. There's a question from Ravi Mariwala. What is the key winning proposition you have compared to other competitors, according to you?
So we do a lot of focus group studies, and I remember my college days. My God, I used to not like market research at all. Today, I think I'm one of the my professor will be very proud that I am such a large fan of market research. So we do a lot of these focus group studies and all of these kind of things. So at Andheri Metro Station, there is a Jumbo King store, and right next to us, there's a Burger King store. So we said that, we asked customers, so why people who ate with us, why did you choose us? And people who chose Burger King, why did you choose Burger King? And there's such amazing answers that come from there. There is also a McDonald's store close by. So we did a study with them, and people said that no, we can't eat at McDonald's every day. It gets very boring. So एक दिन हम वहाँ जाते हैं, one day we eat at Jumbo King, one day we eat at that dosa wala also, who's doing it very unhygienic. But हमको dosa खाना, I have to eat out every day, and I choose 7 different options or 5 different options on 5 different days. So I think so this was one insight. A second was we used to sell very only the entry level basic product earlier, because we thought that we are this poor man's savior and we are going to give him food which is decent and is going to make him feel valued. And what we realized is that people were eating at Jumbo King not because they did not have money. It is because they were short on time. They were not short on money. So they said, we are in a rush. I have to go and catch a train, or I have to go and catch a lecture in college, or I have to go to office. I have to attend a meeting, and that meeting is going to be 2 hours long. I need to eat something. I need a small, quick break. So it was the convenience part of Jumbo King, where they could just grab and go. And they said, boss, you give us a 50 rupee product, you give us a 100 rupee product. People don't mind spending that. So the differentiator therefore came in that Jumbo King should be more convenient as an on-the-go snack than a McDonald's or a Burger King food. Because if you are in the same category, you are doing the burger play over here.
Got it. Interesting. How do you scale culture across your franchisee? Because that will be difficult too. But how do you do that?
So I think as entrepreneurs, all of us, after a certain stage, after you have got to that momentum stage, you're basically only working on the culture part of the organization. Systems are set, right? 100 से 1000 ले जाने के लिए the systems will have to be tweaked a little bit. 1000 से 10,000 ले जाने के लिए they'll have to be tweaked a little bit, right? So the only thing that you have to hold on to very closely is the culture part of the organization. In fact, we call it the 3 C's. There is, in our team, when we are talking to them, that my role is to give them, the first C is clarity of what is expected from that person. Second is, I have to only once a month or once a quarter evaluate them on the second C, which is competence. Is the person being able to deliver what is expected of them? And the third C is the culture. So for us, and a very important part of our culture is that was the franchisee is not our enemy. He's not a problem for us. He's the reason we exist. So while giving, you can either do just lip service to the statement or actually mean it. And everything is done to ensure franchisee success. And then this is something which is driven top down. The way you act, the way you behave, so I may have an unhappy franchisee who's coming to complain that he's not liking the service that we are giving him. How do I treat him? Right? Do I tell him, "Ha, theek hai, bhai, dekh lo, nahi karna hai to mat karo," because I can afford to say that. Or do we really say that, no, 1 second, I want to understand what is happening, we will get this rectified. That is what people are seeing, and the culture automatically sees it.
Right. Next question is, what moats are you creating to fortify your business?
I think the biggest moat is that you can build is the brand, right? There are these spaces which are there to be taken, and once the space is taken, then it becomes difficult for a second and a third guy to come in. So the biggest moat is the brand, and I think we are in that business of brand creation. Otherwise, the product can be created, Vista will manufacture for everyone. So the speed at which execution happens. And so, this also comes at a cost. I remember about 10 years ago, we were very worried about that it's a brilliant idea. And there were a lot of Me Too players who had come along, and they were expanding nationally. They went to Hyderabad, Bangalore, Delhi, And people used to come and tell us, boss, what are you guys doing in Jumbo King? You all will lose the first mover advantage because people are going all over. So we made the cardinal mistake of getting into 4 other cities when we were completely not prepared. And we got beaten black and blue because we did not do well at all. And while we were doing all of that, because the systems were not strong, the team was not strong, our Mumbai market suffered. And we had to bite the bullet and say, okay, nothing, we are coming back. We refocused on Mumbai. Mumbai is a market of 400 stores for us. So we're like, well, this is such a large market where, we already are strong. Why the hell are we trying to, go outside? People today, to get to a footprint of 400 stores, they have to be present in all the top 100 cities in the country. In Jumbo King, with the product that we are going, we can have that footprint in one city alone. It's a huge strength.
Okay. As a question from Nagesh, today D2C businesses achieve 100 crores to 200 crores in less than 5 years. Is that possible in a food business, according to you?
I would say that if I were to attempt a second brand today with the 20 years of learnings, it should be possible.
Okay.
Right? So we are looking at going from 100 to 1,000 in the next 5 years. Right? So I'm just choosing to do that within my own business rather than doing it in another business. So it all depends on where you are in the learning. So similarly, if I were to spend my time on a new brand, probably we would not take 20 years to get to 100%.
The question, two-part question from Hemin. How do you monitor compliances with the systems built by you? That's the first question. Second is, how do you make sure that the team you have built, coming from these diverse backgrounds, are equally committed to the organizational goals also?
Yeah, so I think this should be answered with the clarity piece. As the people have to very clearly know what is expected of them. So there are these amazing training programs. We are now living in such amazing times. There's this gentleman by the name of Rajiv Talreja who does these coaching programs. So we learned a lot over there. We went with our entire team. There's Vern Harnish. A lot of the slide that I made was actually, so Vern Harnish is someone who helped. He has a company called gazelles.com. They typically help companies scale up very rapidly. So they have entire templates on how to get the team aligned, on how to get your goal, as in you get aligned to your goal, your team gets aligned to it, your systems get aligned to it. And it is a lot of work. I know of a lot of my friends who heard about all of these guys. They went and attended their programs. They spent money and when I meet them after 2 years, they say, "Arey, humko to kuch farak nahi pada." So, I tell them that, boss, no, you have to implement. It's like you can't just take a gym membership and think, I'm going to become fit. Gym membership does not give you the. You have to get up every morning and work out for that 45 minutes. Only then I want to get the results. So these tools are available today. Please invest in preparing yourself for the next level. And that's where. So, this was the question. I used to get a little demotivated sometimes because you open the newspaper or you read on the web, this one became 500 crores, 1,000 crores, 5,000 crores. Mother, these numbers come so fast at your face. You're like, what am I doing? We are, slowly chugging along. And that's when I said that, okay, I'm going to target for 10x growth. It's a number which is exciting. It is a number which is out there in the future. And then I'm going to see, okay, what am I going to require to get there in the shortest way possible? And once you have set it, it's like, I wish that some of you all have run a marathon, or if not, if you all will do it, you will see that completing the 42 kilometers. Now, I have completed 4 marathons, so I'm just coming with that experience. Even if I want, I cannot run faster than the next runner. Okay, I can run at my pace only. If I try to go too fast, I'm going to burn out and not be able to complete my race. The only thing that I can do is whatever I have practiced for, I have to complete it. Weather conditions permitting, heat permitting, I should complete the course. And once I have run it, then I prepare better for the next run. But if I keep thinking about, oh, that guy's running faster, so I need to go faster, what is going to happen is by the 35th kilometer mark, I'll be on one of those stretchers and being taken to Asian Heart for treatment because I collapsed. You cannot set your pace on someone else's preparation. Your preparation will decide your pace. A marathon is a great leveler. It really teaches you a lot.
The question from Hide Balaria. How do you start scaling up once you've already a market leader in your core segment? Once you're the leader in the takeaway burger market, what comes next for you?
That's a damn good question. So, I asked this myself that, at what point will I look at it as what point will I stop being actively involved in the business? So I feel that till the time that the company can grow at a minimum of 26, 25 to 30% year on year, right? A pace faster than that, I'm going to be involved in the company. At 25, 30%, a lot of the things are set, and then a CEO can come in and run the show. And at that time, I think then it will all become about allocation of capital, right? How do you allocate capital? And I think there's this amazing book. It's called Outsiders. So please note it down, buy this book. It is all about capital allocation and how that is, once you learn that, it can become the biggest wealth multiplier for anyone. So, so I would allocate capital into other businesses. I would put my money into other entrepreneurs who are growing very rapid businesses. And yeah, that's how I would do it. That's what I would do once I need to, if there is more drive and I want to grow more.
Right. There's a question from Stephen. We talked about the 200 square foot area that you have for the Jumbo King units. It competes with the kitchen at home with components you mentioned available through retail. Comments. Why would redefine your value proposition to your customers? Why would you want?
Sorry, I did not get the question.
Even I didn't understand. Stephen, if you can rewrite that question, we'll come back to it when I didn't quite understand the question. Okay, we'll take it later. Would you redefine your value proposition? He's asking.
So I'm sorry, I'm going to make you read it again.
Okay, at 200 square foot area, which you talked about the vada pav, outfits, it competes with the kitchen at home with components you mentioned available through retail. Would you still redefine your value proposition to your customers?
Why would you compare it to the kitchen at home?
I don't know, that's what Stephen said.
So I might not be able to do justice to this question if I don't understand it.
Sure. So let's go to the next one then. Any course which you have done and you would recommend to all Ascenters?
As I said, there are a lot of gyms, right? Taking up a membership on any one of them is the starting point. Then you have to work it out, as in work on it. So Vern Harnish, if you like an international kind of coaching, Rajiv Talreja is doing something. So we actually chosen Rajiv Talreja because Vern Harnish in a lot of his programs, he has that English accent, the American accent. So my team would not understand what bol kya hai.
Right.
While Rajiv Talreja he has his own different style, but it is more relatable. So it helped us a lot. But believe me, out of 100 people who joined his course, only 2 actually implement it. Okay, so guys, I don't want you all to come back and tell me that I gave you all advice and you all did not benefit. Rajiv Talreja gives me nothing for recommending his name, but he is a magic man, provided you use what he's teaching.
Another question is Jubilant Food is positioning itself as a food tech company and not a pizza company. Your comments?
So they are typically in that valley position, where I feel that they are getting into that Wong's Kitchen happening. Then there is the Egg Dum Biryani that they have launched as a brand. And there is a 4th thing that they are doing. And so this typically is what happens once you have got such phenomenal success. and you're generating so much cash that your business does not need it. So you kind of deploy it here and there. A lot of people say Mukesh Ambani is doing this, he's doing that. You're talking about focus. Mukesh Ambani does not seem to be focused, right? So I tell them, see, if you're generating 10, 15, 20,000 crores of surplus cash every year, you can afford to experiment with 1,000 crores here and there.
Right.
Right. So you first get to creating that kind of cash flow, and then you are free to go and experiment. But till you get there, please remain focused.
Right. So question from Shaju Nair. How do you handle franchisee walking away with your business? They ditch you and start on their own. How do you handle that? And has that happened with you?
Yeah. So very nice question. So this used to be the one thing which used to keep me awake in the nights in the early days. Okay, it's a very easy business. Franchisee has learned it, and he may not need me. And we charge a 10% royalty on sales. So we are always going to be a cost to him. But then what we realized is, and one of the franchisees, he walked away, and he owned the property. He said, "I'm just going to bring down the board and I'm going to start selling my own." And after 1 year, he came back to us quietly. Right. So I asked him, "Kya hua?" He said that no, because if I used to do 100 rupees of sales with the Jumbo King board, after I removed the board, my sales were there, but I came down to about 70 rupees, 60 rupees. So what happened was that the plus I had to now procure all my material. I had to do marketing on my own. I had to do new product development on my own. I had to do training on my own. I was getting none of these things which you were providing me. Plus net, I was making lesser money than what I was making with you guys after paying you your royalty. So we actually made him a poster boy across our system. We let him come back again. And we said that, okay, now anybody else who's going to try and, think of stepping out of the system, we'll say, bhai, jaake unse baat kar lo, and then decide what you need to do. Of course, this was in the earlier days. Today, one of the directions to our team is, so we have got 6 core functions. There is supply chain, there is marketing, there is training, there is the IT infrastructure, there is the real estate team, and the projects team. These are the 6 functions. We say each function has to add so much value to the franchisee that he should feel paying the 10% royalty is justified, even if only one of those functions were actually active and the others were not. So, adding massive value to your franchisees. Today we have got people who are at 4, 4, 5, 5 stores. I have this franchisee, he's making more than 1 crore a year on the Jumbo King franchise. He owns 4 stores and runs 4 stores. And he said that, "Sir, please give me my 5th one and my 6th one." I said, "Boss, why don't you try and, do it on your own?" He said, "Why would I do it on my own? I get everything ready. If I try to do it on my own," he said, "just on the purchase side, the patty, sauce, bread, everything, I'm saving about 15 to 20% by buying through the centralized purchase system. If I were to do this on my own, my cost would go up by 15 to 20%. Up to 10% there. Plus you do the marketing. Right? I would never be able to do the kind of marketing that the company will be able to offer. So why would I? And anyway, even if I put up a store which is outside of yours, you will come and put up a store right next to mine. And I'll be competing with a Jumbo King instead of being a part of Jumbo King. So, only a fool would think of getting out."
Okay. This is a question from Suresh. What were some of the setbacks Jumbo King has undergone in its 20 years journey?
Oh, that will take a day for me to explain. But top 3, if I were to say, I think the biggest setback was when we decided to put up company-owned stores. And because we felt that franchisees are a pain and they don't understand. But it was also my biggest learning. And so today, if someone were to come and offer me, just say that, "Okay, let's take this here, 100 crores low, and let us build this out on our own. We don't need to franchise. We'll keep all the money to ourselves." I'll say, "Sir, I'm not the one for you. We are a franchising company, and that's what," because Subway has got 78,000 stores worldwide, right? That is what excites us. I'd rather spend my time and energy thinking on how we can go international, right? We are a vegetarian company. Outside, veganism is big. I suppose we can go out as a vegan company and really, do wonders over there. So why would I try to, put up on? So this was the number one learning, was when you try to go on our own. Second was, when we tried to scale up and go outside, because competition was doing that, and we thought we will lose the first mover advantage. So let people do what they are doing. Just focus on getting. It's like your race is the one that you are running. You can't be running the other person's race.
Okay, there's a question from Vishal Mehta. According to you, which function is the most important in early years of bootstrapped companies? Would it be product or profitability or revenue or customer experience?
All of them. It's like saying what is more important: eyesight, smell, hearing, touch, touch or taste. You need all the five faculties to be able to, whether you're bootstrapping or you have, reached the stage of momentum.
Okay.
That's why entrepreneur has to be like the octopus. You need to have your 8 to 10 hands.
Right. Sorry, at this point, I would like to, we'll have more questions for you, Dheeraj, and there are quite a few more that we can answer. At this point, can I request the team to put the feedback here? I'll request all the participants to kindly take this feedback. It just allows us to do better, get speakers like Dheeraj to come in and share his journey with us. So please do take this feedback, very critical for ASCENT team to do better and get you more such webinars. I will put this up for the next 20 seconds and please kindly take this feedback. It will not take you more than 2 to 4 seconds to do this. In the meantime, I will continue with the questions for Dheeraj. Dheeraj, during these pandemic times, I'm sure Jumbo King has been affected as well. How did the franchisee manage if their revenues fell down? And how did you end up paying the employees' salaries?
So pandemic has been a real tough challenge for all retail business. I think the first 1 year we were able to negotiate rentals with our landlords, and they went to zero rentals, which really saved us a lot of the pain. And I think we had to take salary cuts, as in about in the company we had about 20% salary cuts, which happened. And I think in the retail business, we were very fortunate to have had, we have an amazing board in place, which is extremely, extremely conservative. And so even in the good times, there was, that conservatism was there on how the money is getting spent. So we were funded throughout this whole thing, where even with zero revenues coming in, everybody got paid salaries on time on the 5th of every month. And so it was, I think it was a lot of good practices in the past, which helped us, has helped us, come out of this pandemic. We are not fully out of it as yet, but come out of this pandemic relatively, only with scars.
Right.
I know of people where businesses are folded up because they ran out of cash, and that's the biggest reason why businesses fold up. Actually.
Yeah. So somebody did make a comment saying India is a food-loving country, but yet we like our McDonalds and our Subways and all of that.
Yeah.
Never seen an Indian food brand going global. So does Jumbo King would be that?
See, I think McDonald's started in the US in 1952, and they went global much, about 30 years, till they were 30 years into the business. India is such a large market. India is the US and the entire Europe and a few other countries put together. That's the population that we have. So it was like how we focused on Mumbai for the first 10, 15 years before going outside of Mumbai. We are going to focus on getting to this $1 billion mark in the country first, and then on a very, very strong footing go outside. So I think we still have a lot of work left to do in the country. And we are very happy chasing that 50-60% year-on-year growth.
Right. This is an interesting question. What can hypothetically replace vada pav in the consumer choice, and what will drive the shift according to you?
Replace it?
Mm-hmm.
Why would you want to replace the vada pav? It is, we are already selling it as the Indian burger. So
right.
I think it is more to do with the people who are selling that product, their mindset. So see, the educated people, like I'm a 3-year hotel management and then an MBA in finance. When I get into this business, people thought I was mad. I had got thrown out of the family, and therefore I was getting into this business. right? Because otherwise, why would someone who's educated and an MBA in finance get into this? I said, boss, this is such a huge opportunity. So what I saw was the others who were in this in the play, they were not very educated. They did not have a vision for the product. What Jumbo King differentiated on the B2B side was we came in with a vision, with systems, processes, all of those things, which helped us grow. So I don't think the product needs to get replaced. It just what we have done is we've developed it. We've come up with 7 variants of vada pav, and we just call it Indian burger. I would share this example with you all. There's this friend of mine who had launched a food company, and so he came one day. He wanted us to carry it at our stores, and we were talking, and he said that, yeah, do you know what this product is? I said, I said, huh? He said, no, ye Shrikhand hai. I said, okay, it was a little funny. I said, okay, so, but he said, but we don't call it Shrikhand, we call it Greek yogurt. You all have all heard of epigamia?
Yeah.
So they said, see, if I had called it Shrikhand, no one would buy it, but I call it Greek yogurt, and it becomes cool. Everybody wants to have Greek yogurt. Or most of our customers are these all these models and film stars, and they have the Greek yogurt in their, they're on a diet and they'll carry it in their purse, and they'll proudly remove it and eat it during their breaks. Right. But if it was called Shrikhand, I don't know how many people would buy it. So, it was a beautiful insight on how much, when Shakespeare said, what's in a name, there's a lot in a name of how people are going to perceive it. So vada pav had the same similar perception problem. When we charge 20 rupees for a vada pav, people feel that, my God, what's wrong? What have you put into this? Why 20 bucks? Right. While burger ko bol ke hum usme, you're charging 75 bucks, people say, oh, this is damn good value for money.
Sorry, we are out of time. Just one last question. As is Indian consumer, when it comes to value meal, brand loyal or discount loyal at this point?
Sorry.
When it comes to Indian consumer at this point, is the person brand loyal or discount loyal?
Absolutely brand loyal. That is how it is. That's why on the Swiggies and the Zomatos, all these cloud kitchens which are coming in, you will see that what is Domino's? Domino's is a cloud kitchen which had started in the 1960s. They used to put up stores in the back areas to avoid rentals. And then they had to spend crores and crores of money to get their number famous. Right. Today in the new, the VC and the PE world, cloud kitchens is a fancy name, right? It is the same thing, but they're going to have to spend crores of money, of rupees. It's like, I'm sure all of us have a favorite pav bhaji place, but it's unbranded, but we still have a favorite place. We have our favorite pani puri place. We have our favorite South Indian place. We have our favorite black dal. I'm sure that if we ask everyone, they will have one place in Mumbai city with some of the best black dal that they have. Right. Those have not got branded. They'll eventually get branded. So people will choose brand. I don't think a cloud kitchen can come and say, I can give you, a burger, buy one, get one free. The people will just not have that experience.
Right. Okay, that's all the time we have today. Dheeraj, thank you so much for being a very interesting speaker for all of us. I think huge takeaways for all of us. And thank you to the amazing ASCENT crowd for giving us all those questions. And definitely thank you to my team for organizing. Thank you, Dheeraj. Any last words from you?
No, it was a pleasure. I just, I normally like talking to audiences where I can see people so that, I can see the reactions that I'm getting. But I hope that you'll have benefited. And
no, I think there are comments coming in saying that was amazing and people enjoyed it and thanks a lot and all of that. So
if anybody has any advice, any suggestions, I'm sure that you all would have consumed Jumbo King somewhere. Please feel free to send it to Archanna or someone in her team. Please share that with us. I think it will help us become better.
Right. Thank you so much, Dheeraj. Good night and stay safe, everyone.